Bitcoin is still looking very good in the longer term, while the dollar is still on its decline. But in the imminent short term, you need to be getting pretty careful because Bitcoin might be trapping a lot of Bitcoin traders. Well, in the imminent very short term, Bitcoin is starting to look pretty weak right here, with a hidden bearish divergence right now being developed, as well as we are currently trading in a weekend. So first of all, before sharing this technical analysis right here in the short term, it is very important to distinguish the very important difference between the longer term and the short term. Of course, for the longer term, well, Bitcoin is looking very, very good at this point. It is starting to look like we are about to blast off towards the upside, just like the stock market has been doing. Well, Bitcoin has some catching up to do with the stock market. But with that being said, we will be jumping in towards the longer term charts a bit later in this video. But very important is the short term Bitcoin price action. Because of course, Bitcoin has been testing this crucial Bitcoin resistance level with right now 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe even the 5th touch point right now being created. As well as not only this resistance level, but also on the RSI indicator, we are also creating this resistance level right here with another touch point right now being created. Now, yes, indeed, in the end of the day, I think maybe even next week, we are going to be breaking out eventually towards the upside. And whenever we are going to be breaking out, I will be longing the Bitcoin market. But I do not expect it is going to be happening just yet. I do not expect it is going to be happening today. Because one thing is for sure, after we got our rejection from of this very important weekly resistance that we discussed many times on this channel, and well, a lot of people were flipping bullish at this point, I was actually saying, alright, right now is the time I want to be getting careful. I want to be getting cautious. I think this will be trapping a lot of people. You can go back to all of my videos right here created at this point right here. And yes, indeed, from of that point, we started trading in towards this downtrend. And ever since we traded in towards this downtrend, well, all of the time, it has been actually a pretty awful time to be longing the Bitcoin market. We are still trading in towards this downtrend. So the odds are still more likely that we will be moving down than that we are actually going to be breaking towards the upside. Now, of course, if we are actually going to be breaking towards the upside, then of course the odds are going to be shifting. But right now, well, that is not yet happening. We are still trading technically in towards this downtrend, alongside with the fact that we are still trading in a weekend. And on top of that, well, we are also creating a hidden bearish divergence on the 8-hourly time frame. So what I'm going to be watching is some kind of a pattern being developed on the lower time frame. Because on the 30-minute time frame right now, we can be seeing that we are developing a upward sloping support level. We are not really just yet developing any kind of a resistance, but it will just be a matter of time before we also will be creating any kind of resistance. So this is what I'm going to be watching. And also because we are trading in a weekend, and of course at the same time we are developing this bearish divergence, we are still trading in towards this downtrend, and also of course we are touching major resistance levels. Well, I would say it is going to be more likely that we are going to be breaking some kind of a pattern towards the downside and get a small retracement towards the downside before once again opening our CME futures chart, closing a short-term gap that we will be getting tomorrow, and then once again go further towards the upside, get a break towards the upside early next week or maybe even next week, and then follow it up with a massive pump towards the upside. We are of course still seeing that volatility is absolutely imminent. This signal is so important to watch. It is so rare. We are not getting this signal many times. But whenever we do, well, all of the times it has signaled a huge volatile move, a huge volatile swing for Bitcoin that has happened. And once again, this is happening again. Now, also very important is that BlackRock ordered the SEC to approve the Bitcoin spot ETF with urgency. And of course, normally an ETF approval can take up to 240 days. But with this urgency behind it, well, I am going to be expecting it is going to be taking yeah, maybe even less than a month, which is going to be epic. If we can be getting a spot ETF approved within less than a month, well, that would be very bullish for Bitcoin, and we are going to be blasting off towards the upside. Now, of course, for the longer term trend for Bitcoin, it is still looking very good. As you can be seeing, well, the whales are still not selling off any Bitcoin. They are actually still accumulating Bitcoin. And this is also reflected in the Bitcoin chart. We are looking to be getting some kind of a bounce from of this very important support level right here. Of course, this breakout from of this falling wedge is going to be imminent. We are going to be getting this, I think, next week, alongside with this cup and handle pattern, of course, also going to be breaking out at the same time of this falling wedge pattern. Just like resistance right now is turning into a support, it is flipping into a support, and of course this support level is the same one as of for this inverse head and shoulders breakout towards the upside that we are also getting and perfectly retesting. And of course, at the same time, whoa, the stock market is absolutely exploding towards the upside. This is crazy. And while the stock market is exploding so much towards the upside, well, Bitcoin is barely doing anything. It is even decreasing quite a significant bit over the past couple of weeks, while the stock market has been absolutely exploding. And we have not seen this many times in Bitcoin price history. Okay, but whenever something like this happens, well, we can often see Bitcoin is going to be catching up with the stock market. Okay, so I think once again, the same thing is going to be happening in the end of the day. Whenever we are going to be breaking out these patterns towards the upside, well, Bitcoin has some catching up to do with the stock market. And of course, well, I literally do not make this up, but the dollar currency index is also decreasing so quickly. Of course, we have seen this hidden bearish divergence being created on the larger time frames. Well, we are still in towards this downtrend on the dollar currency index. And of course, we have been saying over the past couple of weeks, well, it is very likely that we will be returning towards this support level over here at about the 101 or maybe even the 100 points. Okay, and well, we are exactly on our way towards that level. And it is just pointing all towards the fact that Bitcoin has some major catching up to do with all of these signals. Okay, and well, I do not think it is going to be happening today. Maybe not even tomorrow. Okay, today and tomorrow, just like I said, the Bitcoin price action is still looking rather quite weak. But in the end of the day, whenever we will be getting this breakout, well, that will be the point where I will be opening my huge long position, as well as the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart is also at crucial areas. We are at very important and very decisive support level. And of course, I will be keeping you guys up to date about if we are either going to be getting this breakout towards the upside or towards the downside. So short term for Bitcoin is still looking quite weak. Longer term is looking very good. And if you do want to be staying up to date, be sure to follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in another update video tomorrow morning.